A hair salon in Paralives? This new Paralives showcase may have excited some for an active career, but what it's really showing is how the paramaker will have extensive options even upon launch. Now, this first screenshot just shows us some paras with the new hairstyles and of course dressed with some aprons ready to cut hair. In order to create this, they actually used items they already have in game. So to be clear, this is not a functioning salon, and honestly, it's really convincing, and not gonna lie, now I do want to see this in Paralyzed at some point. I love how this is set up. There's a lot of ambiance to it in my humble opinion. Here, it looks like we have a skinny jean, a more flared jean, and also capri pants or whatever you choose to call them. What I also like is the different facial expressions of the paras. You can see the one para in the back with platinum blonde hair pondering as they are about to cut a client's hair. And we also see an older para too. One thing I've said many times in the past is that the showcases don't just include young adult paras, but also paras of older ages, and I think that's actually pretty important. Nonetheless, there's nothing super standout here except for I love how it looks when it's staged, and I love the items of decor. I'm excited to see the clutter items, even though I'm not a builder. I said so many times I think this game at least would be fun for building. I certainly hope it's more than that, but nonetheless, there's a lot of nice clutter. We have a coat rack, and we also have potted plants and just little items that show the creativity that goes into this game. I am pretty impressed with the little intricate details. Again, I do want to see those intricate details in gameplay too. That is most important to me, but I have to analyze what I have here, and so far I'm pretty pleased. Now here we have a closer look at some of the clients and also the paras working here, and here we see little details like washing the hair at the sink, and like I said, this is just making me really want this as an active career. Now, as far as the new hairstyles, we have this asymmetrical bob. Honestly, I think this is kind of interesting. I don't know I would personally use it that much, but remember, you also of course can get it in any color you want. I do actually kind of appreciate that they color coordinated the hair with the eyeshadow. I'm not sure why. The only thing I will say for this hairstyle, I do feel like it looks a little bit on the chunky side. However, maybe some of the chunkiness also has to do with the purple and also being able to see the roots beneath it. You can let me know in the comments below. Next up, we have a short waves hairstyle that looks effortless and clean. This is actually a hairstyle I could see myself using all the time. And we also do see some facial hair details and of course also earrings too. And honestly, I also think this hair is stunning. This hair is a long, straight, silky hair with bangs. This is a pretty long hair. Honestly, I don't usually see hairs this long in these type of games. And of course, the longer the hair, the more clipping issues you could run into. That said, this almost has a shine to it. I think it just looks really vibrant and healthy. And I also think it just goes along really well with this para overall. I actually love the intricate details with the tattoos, and there's also tons of piercings too. Overall, I'm not worried at all about making my paras look unique and having tons of different options. This side braid, they say, is perfect for a bohemian aesthetic. I don't know how I feel about this hair. I do like the general concept of this hair, but it does seem a little less intricate and detailed than the last hair we saw. It might be something to do with the shading or the texture. You can let me know in the comments below. I could definitely see myself using this, but I just like the last hair just a little bit better. And I will say, of the two braids in this showcase, I think I would use this one more. This braid is a middle part hairstyle with a long braid in the back. Now honestly, again, I think it's just the shading and the kind of shine to it. Maybe some people won't like this, but personally, I think it looks very vibrant. Another element I really appreciate about Paralives showcases is they have both masculine and feminine in pretty equal proportions. This is a short, spiky, straight hair, classic and easy to maintain. Honestly, it's not a hairstyle that personally excites me, but it also looks very useful and I could see myself getting a lot of use out of this too. This next hair is a straight hair pinned with a clip and perfect for busy pair folks. Now honestly, I really like this. I think that the clip looks fantastic and it's both casual but does have a touch of elegance. And as I said before, I really appreciate that we see para folk of different ages in these showcases. I think that's important to envision how you would use it. We also have a fairly simple short ponytail. Again, it's not that all these hairstyles are super exciting, but what I love is I could see myself using a lot of these on a regular basis. This also would be good for, of course, sporting events and just hanging around. Honestly, I also really like the sunflower earrings. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I think of all the hairs in the showcase, this is my personal favorite. The details are just gorgeous. I love this. It is bubble braids for a fun and colorful look. Now, I would be curious to see how much you can customize. Can you change the colors? To what extent? But I think this looks really well done. It has a lot of dimension and it just is super striking. To have this right away in the base game is fantastic, and again, one of my favorite hairs they have done to date. If I had to pick a second favorite hairstyle in the showcase, it probably would be this next one. It is a sleek, high ponytail, stylish, and suitable for any occasion. It definitely feels sophisticated and can be casual or it can be formal. We then have this wavy hair with a one side shaved, exuding rebellion and fearless vibes. And personally, I think this is also a great addition. They have a great mix of just pretty basic styles with some more adventurous styles too. And as someone who naturally has freckles, I do appreciate the freckle inclusion. And of course, we have this jean jacket adorned with scratches, various pins, and stitches. Overall, a pretty interesting showcase, even though it's mostly on hairs. However, of course, as always, there are mixed opinions about the showcase. One critique that caught my attention was they claimed don't look unique enough. Now, personally, I don't feel this way, but you can definitely let me know. It's fine to have a different opinion. And honestly, what's really funny is the Paralyzed team is always getting different feedback, and sometimes it's directly opposed. Just as the last person said that there is not enough diversity in the faces, this person says incredible diversity in the faces. Can't wait to play around. This person added, the paras and hairstyles look great. I had just one comment on the environment and objects. I feel like the paras and background are too far apart in style. I've gone over this many times. They do not plan to change the style of the environment or the paras in meaningful ways. They pretty much have decided on the art direction, and that art direction is that paras are going to look slightly different than the environment. Personally, I think it works really well together, but that doesn't mean this opinion is not valid, and a lot of people do feel that way too. I just hope that people who feel that way still feel like they can play the game with mods and CC, which is a topic I do want to cover in a future video. Definitely was critique, and that's totally fine. A lot of people did appreciate the showcase as a whole. I love the diversity of the paras being shown. They all look distinct and relatable. Great job with the hairs and beards. My favorites are the bubble braids, asymmetric bob, short waves, and straight hair pinned with a clip. And finally, a last statement here. I do think gameplay, of course, is really important, and I always prioritize that. However, at the same time, it is important to have a diverse range of hairstyles and assets in the paramaker. Just think of how bare bones Sims 4 was in the base game. Again, I hate to bring up Sims 4, but I feel like it is good to talk about, and it is good to have this as a foundation. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you in the next video.